nicely. Vibrations are moving up. And again, if not, our good friend today, Pimpy, is here. Look, there's his YouTube channel right there at the other side of things 471. Hey, you know what, man?
I said it's like old time.
It really is. Pimpy's, for those of you who are seeing us for the first time, this is April and Ajay. We're going to be your host today. Pimpy, and yes, that is his real first and last name is Pimpy. That's what he goes by. But anyway, you can check him out at the other side of things 471 at YouTube. So really cool cat there. It'll be one of our first interviews, man, when we got into this whole
you are the reason why we got into the whole silver and gold and everything.
Yeah.
It's taking off right now. It's unbelievable. You know,
is it really?
It's unbelievable. I told people it was coming, but you
it
know,
is
above 2,000 and silver's above 25 an ounce, so looking real good.
No shit, huh?
Oh, fantastic!
That's what happened.
You guys ever checked recently? I mean, gold is almost at $2,100. It's getting there quickly, and silver is
when did all this?
The last couple of days been taken off. You know, cryptos have been run into, and I have my suspicion why it is, but you know, people are like, come on, Pimpy, I know you hate cryptos, but if you had to choose, I go, well, why? If you've been listening to me for all these years, I'm going to tell you the same thing: Ethereum, always Ethereum. But look, choose the two blue chip ones. Choose Bitcoin, choose Ethereum. Stay away from the other ones. I bought into some meme coins just because what the heck, they're really cheap. And I, you know, got tons of them. My thought is high tide lifts all ships. And sure enough, those meme coins are really taking off. You know what I mean? And yeah, and we'll see it. But as soon as you get to a certain point, I'm just going to dump them and go right into gold and silver. Why wouldn't I?
You know what though? But like, you know
we
what?
have so much to talk about.
Man, I know it's been like a minute since we spoke to you. This is so nice to see you again. Look at you, man. You look great. And
it's the best I've ever seen you look. You look fantastic.
Yeah, man. I tell you, but you
know
know
what? Boy, the alcohols are really taking over. No, I'm just kidding.
Whatever, man. Listen, whatever floats your boat, buddy. Whatever floats your boat.
I go through these binges, and everybody knows. I talk about it on my channel. I said, you know how to quit for a while, and so I did. I slowed down drastically. But I went for a long spree without drinking, and then started up. But I don't do it nowhere as much as I used to. I just know I got to stop. But you know, everybody knows it's no secret that I've been drinking for most all my life. So I joke about it often enough. But you know, I'm getting older now, and when I wake up in the morning, I'm tired of my bones sounding like popcorn. So you know, because you're just popping, you're like, oh, good Lord. So hey, to me.
You know, that's okay, man. Listen, I mean, you know,
we all go through it.
You know, and I tell you, the whole thing behind it is awareness, right? So you know, you listen to your body, you know what's going on there, and you work it out there. Take some glutathione, man, it'll help.
Yeah,
with that stuff. But hey,
you have to tell me about that later on because I heard about that before, but I didn't. You got to tell me what it is or text me the name.
Totally.
Yeah,
I'll text you. Believe me, I'll shamelessly promote it to you. But listen, I wanted to ask you though, because it's been a minute. When we met you, so when we met Pimpy, everybody, this is when April talked us back into doing the show again. So Pimpy really was one of the first people. So it's really pretty cool to get to see you again.
But wait, real quick, I'm going to cut you off. Let me tell you something. This is really interesting that we're talking because I literally just did an interview where I was talking about you guys. How I got started on holding this Sarah to Sarah. I just go, it's a funny story. And I told him this story. I don't know if you want to re-say it again. But
I do, because I think it's important. And when we get to Nassar and Jassar, we'll definitely talk about that.
Yeah, but I tell you though, what was really cool is that the fact that when we were doing the show again, you were really cool, and I was like, I want to talk to this motherfucker because he's talking about money. So he was good. This is the guy, and he still is the guy, everybody. So listen to what he has to say. He's got some really good stuff here.
You've always given us very sound advice.
Yeah, and you've always come very neutral.
Not flying all over the place. And then when we would fly all over the place, you'd be like, okay, let's bring it back to center. Let's come back to reality.
Grounded is really important.
All right,
and I preach that all the time. Look, there's reasons to be excited about everything that's going on, but we also know there's people out there, you know, getting real carried away, these exaggerated stories, and you know, I say get away from those. Just focus on the things that matter most. Even if what they're saying is true, which is bullshit, but I'm just saying, even if what they're saying is true, when you're trying to encourage other people to come aboard, the last thing you want to do is be talking about clones and black hats and white hats. Who cares about all that crap? Focus on what matters the most. And so I tell everybody, stay grounded. You know, there's great things happening with the Iraqi dinar, but there's people out there still going, tomorrow, what's going to happen? Tomorrow, I was like, oh, good Lord, no, it's not. you have to slow your roll. Be careful about who you're getting your information from. So, I made it a habit when I'm talking about certain subjects to always, I say my term is show the receipts. You know what I mean? Show the proof. Here's the link so you guys can see that I'm not lying about what I'm saying. Show the proof. And, I'll give you an example of one. I know you guys recently had a guest without saying his name, Mel. Anyways, he was speaking about this QFS system. And, he tried to encourage me even to go to his website. You do know who you're talking to because you should have done your homework before you approached me about joining this website that you got for the QFS. I can't think of anybody else there who spent more time, seriously, researching the QFS system. I'm the one who actually found it, the real one, the legitimate QFS system. And I showed everybody, this is where it is. This is who's operating it. This is what's being done right now. This isn't fake. This is real. And it started when I spoke to a friend of mine who does work for the government, but nothing to do with currencies and nothing like that. we talk geopolitics. And I said, have you heard this QFS thing? And he said, I've not heard anything about it. And I said, well, if you ever find out any information, please let me know. And then one day we're talking about politics, and right before I hung up, he drops his bomb on me. He says, hey, that QFS thing? I go, what about it? He goes, it's real. And I was like, it's real? Can you help me? Where's the information at? He goes, I don't know. I just heard people in passing talking about it, which put me between a rock and a hard place because I don't want to continue telling people it's bullshit when it's real, but I don't have any way to prove it to them. And for me, everything I do is you have to show proof. And so research, and lo and behold, I found the QFS system. It is a quantum financial system, and they have this system. It's called a D-Wave. That is the computer, and it's over in Spain, and it's being used there. That is the guinea pig. That is the launch of the QFS system. And so it is, it's launched. But you don't need to go into this, wackadoodle land, and you don't have to have a special sign up. Like this guy wants you to go to some website and turn over all your information about your cryptos. This has nothing to do with cryptos. This has something to do with the quantum system being able to calculate what's the best approach when it comes to financing, which is really hard to do. There's a lot of variables that you have to take in consideration. But I heard him say, the SWIFT system's, what do you say, outdated? I go, well, it's not outdated, dude. It just launched the new version in March of 2023. It's high speed. It's up to date. What are you talking about?
So are you saying that, okay, because this is actually news to me. The SWIFT system is, I understand what the SWIFT system is, but from my understanding, I thought it was like going, into the ether. Are you saying that it's not going anywhere and it's staying put?
It's staying put. It just launched the new version, SWIFT 2.0. And here's the thing that people don't understand. The Brad Garlinghouse and XRP, along with a lot of these other cryptos, actually helped SWIFT become a more advanced system. And I keep telling you, people, don't get so excited about XRP. I know they're out there pumping them up, but have you ever actually researched what these people want? Brad Garlinghouse has said 1 million times, their goal is to help the new world order into the future. They want to.
This is my okay, Pimpy. Let me tell you where I'm at and maybe you can help put this into perspective. Here's where I've always had an issue with XRP or XL. Now, I'm not saying I don't like crypto. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying it's good. It's not. I think, it has its place, and I think you can make a lot of money, and I think you can also lose a tremendous amount of money. Yes. All right. Now, but here's my issue with all this hype about the XRP and the XLM. How is that ever going to be the one currency when it's being utilized by the new world order? How
well, their goal is to get everybody onto an either single system. And look, everybody, think of it this way. The CBDC is where they're trying to go to, the central bank digital currency. And to show you that I'm telling you that they're on the side of this, you could go look up, you could Google this, do XRP, CBDC, XLM CBDC. They actually have those now on their website. And unless you know what the CBDC is, then you're not going to understand the urgency to stay away from XRP or XLM or any of those other tokens. Are they going to make money? Who knows? Do you see XRP climbing at all right now during this rush? No. Will they climb? I don't know. Can you make money off them? Possibly. But here's the thing. Why do I want to invest at all in any crypto who takes part in a system that wants to systematically enslave every man, woman, and child on this planet? Why would you want to do that? That's like investing into the gas company that the Hitler's using to do with the Jews, and you're a Jewish person. You know what I mean? It doesn't make no sense.
Would there be a crypto that you would say we seriously need to be looking at?
You know, stick with the blue chips because they're not involved in this crap. You know, Bitcoin and Ethereum. Now, I'm not a crypto pusher, but you know, those ones tend to have a lot of projects, tend to do a lot of good.
But has that ship sailed though? Has that ship sailed? Meaning the Bitcoin?
No, there's now.
Like
what I tell everybody is
making money on it.
We're looking for consistency in the movement of cryptos. You know, just because they go up for 2 seconds, they come down. That's been the pattern. But cryptos have gradually started going up again as people are paying attention to them. So I say look for consistency, and it has consistently been going up. So I don't need all the hype about all the other cryptos. Look, those are gone. Trust me when I tell you this. Their goal is to eliminate them all. The reason why you know Ethereum and Bitcoin is not going to go anywhere is because now they're institutionalized. You have BlackRock involved with both of them, which I don't like the fact that, you know, I would want to invest in anything that makes BlackRock your bed buddy. I'm not a fan of cryptos, but if you insist, you know, and you want to make money, then Bitcoin and Ethereum both have ETFs that are being created by BlackRock along with other hedge fund groups. So, you know, those are the ones you want to get involved with. I'm not a big fan of getting involved in any of these cryptos that helped create the central bank digital currency. These people are truly out for the, you know, to do the worst they can to humanity. And the fact that there's people out there pushing them like they're the thing to do. It's like I said, you're investing into companies that ultimately become your doom if they're successful.
Okay, so let me ask you this then. Okay, so as an asset,
that's always been my issue.
That's
my thought pattern.
As an asset, you got cryptocurrencies. There's been a big push on this XRP XLM thing. So I get your view on that. Then if you pivot now to the quote unquote the foreign currency trend, if you would, the dinars and stuff like that, you know, what is that? You know, how is that still a thing? Is that and it's interesting that still goes on. But what has been the trigger, you think, for, because I'm sure there's people watching it that are aware of this, but from your opinion, for the last I mean, we've known about 14, 15 years at least, how many ever years, right? What's the trigger that keeps it running on? And you know, there is no trigger being pulled, if you would, on it that has a change value. That's of anything there. What is it? Is there anything legit to it, or is it just one? Or do we look at that's it?
There's a lot of hype around it, just like XRP and XLM. You know, oh, this is going to become $1 million. Oh, and it's like, no, shut up, be grounded. That's not true. My thing is, when it comes to the Iraqi dinar, and I'm invested in it, and I speak about it all the time, but you know, if you think you're going to wake up one day and then presto, the rate has changed to this 322, you're sadly mistaken. You know, the thing about my channel versus other channels is the fact that I educate the people as we go along. I'm saying this is what you need to know. And sure, people don't like it. They get pissy about it. But then all of a sudden you see the channel starts jumping up in leaps abound again. And I'm like, oh, here we go. Because people see that I'm not lying. It's going to go up in increments. Now, the reason why people should be excited at all about Iraqi dinar is they have aggressively been doing what they need to do to be back on the international scene, and they are taking the right steps, and we're seeing it play out in real time. So I said, look, this is why we want this to happen, and I did a video on it. This is why, if this happens, you know, you teach the people. The channel is about educating people, but I tell them it's going to go up in increments. You know, right now they are allowed to do international trade with these other countries, Turkey and Iran and some other group, China, can't think of them off the top of my head. So what they're doing is they're doing currency swaps right now, which is big. This means now the United States is allowing them to do trade internationally on a much bigger scale. We know they're being pushed through the World Trade Organization, but that's not going to happen overnight. But as soon as they get completed, again, this opens the doors for them. The One Road initiative that they're building in Iraq, that really opens up the door for access to them from the Middle East. They're going to be, you know, over the next couple of years, they're going to do a whole lot of things internationally, as long as they can stay out of trouble. And
okay, let me. I want to. Pimpy, I got a couple of comments here. I want to see if you can help us address on here something from the chat. All right, let's start with this one.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, Bitcoin miners controlled by CCP and JP Morgan owns Ethereum patents. Both centralized. XRP is the one.
No, I don't understand. I understand that. But they're not the only miners. The mining is not controlled by the CCP. If you remember, they kicked all the miners out. Most of the miners are now here in America, not over in China. And I understand that JP Morgan, I don't know about them owning the patents, but I know they're heavily invested in Ethereum. XRP is not the one. Why would you want to invest in a company that literally is trying to help a group of people enslave every man, woman, and child through the central bank digital currency?
Isn't the XLM... Remember the Economist cover magazine? I think it was 1988, and it had the Phoenix burning, and they had the crypto. Was that XLM on the?
It was both the stellar symbol and XRP symbol, and you know, quidinky dink or not, nothing is a coincidence when it comes to these guys. Does it really matter? The point is, these cryptos are helping with the pushing the existence of the central bank digital currency. You literally can go up there and just put in there XRP, CBDC, XLM, CBDC, and see they have their own central bank digital currency.
Let me play devil's advocate on this one, okay? So I get your opinion on that, and like anything, everybody, this is not financial advice. Seek out your financial advisor, take what you want, throw the rest away. All right. That being said, if all this shit's coming anyway, shouldn't we somewhat embrace it? I mean, so for example, if there is a lot of these coins being thrown at us, and they are starting to make a move, and they are doing this central digital bank thing, I mean, is it at some point do we say it is what it is and fuck it? We just
do you just go to yourself and say like, oh, there's the gas chambers, it's inevitable. We should embrace our doom.
Well, I get it. I totally get that. I know. I totally don't say that.
People got to get that in their head. It is that bad. When I make that comparison, it is that bad.
But can the public make it? Okay, but let's say, for example, everything you're saying is what it is, and it is that bad. Can the actual public make a difference? Reality. You've been doing this long enough. Can there be a difference?
If you cut off the streams of income, and what is that? People invest in those cryptocurrencies. That's one thing. But, you know, go to gold and silver. That's out of the system. So if this system goes in a direction you don't want it to, at least you have gold and silver to fall back on. In our community, we've been talking about this, about how we can use gold and silver, how we're going to trade, how we can use them for labor. This is being discussed now. People should get together in their local communities and start discussing this. I mean, I told a story about how I traded silver to have this guy do my roof of my house. You know what I mean? What does it say on here? Tom Numbers stated that Starlink, QFS, and Nicera were all man-made. Of course they're all man-made. Who else did you think made them? Why? What stories are being made out there?
Welcome back, welcome back. Things haven't changed.
I mean, ultimately,
QFS is a man-made quantum financial system. It is a computer system. You guys can look this up. Look up the D wave being used in Spain. So the QFS has already been out. You don't need any special. Oh, okay, I remember now. The higher level. Well, you should have a higher level, anyways. Just so you know, there's other things coming up. That's spiritually. That's another story altogether. You should elevate yourself spiritually anyways, but don't do it because you think it's going to help you get on this QFS system. It's a man-made system. It just switches over automatically. So it's I've heard stories about this. Somebody said,
but it's interesting. It's actually what's nice to hear about you today. You have whatever, again, right, wrong, or indifferent, whether you believe or not. You have not changed your views on gold and silver. You are just been fucking years, man. Just boom. That's it. You just haven't wavered on that.
Here's something that will blow your mind. I don't know if you remember this, but in 2020, when we first went into lockdown and all the stock and everything crashed and everybody was panicking, and they said, oh, even gold and silver went down. And I said, well, don't worry about gold and silver. It drops along with everything else, but then it won't take long. It'll rebound quicker than everybody else. But this is the time for us to make money on what's going on in the stock market. And I did this thing called Stock Watch. And I said, we're going to fictitiously we're going to create a portfolio. And I said, we're going to put $10,000 in each one of these and let's see how we do. But I did choose 10,000 in Bitcoin, 10,000 in Ethereum, and 10,000 in XRP. And I said, there's a window of opportunity for us and we're going to take advantage of it. And sure enough, I got to a certain point towards the end of July where I said, right now, for me, this would be the time to dump. So had people listen and they put 10,000 in the into Bitcoin, they made like 98,000 in like 6 months in pure profit. But on Ethereum, they made like 278,000 in pure profit.
On the same 10,000.
Yeah, and then on XRP was like 60 something thousand. And I said, I got out like a month and a half too early before it really tanked, but people made a lot of money. Plus the stocks we went over, and I go, so see, this is what you should be doing now is studying the stock market, finding out what's the blue chip ones, which ones are the best ones. Because when it does crash, they're going to drop and become really low. You should be cash ready. You should have something that's liquid, and cryptos are not liquid. Everybody, how many times have we had a panic in the market? And we hear people complain, I can't sign into my platform. I can't get in there. Robinhood and all those other trade accounts, you can't get in there to sell your stock or sell your cryptos. So what good is it if they're going to allow you to lose your money claiming that their platform is, for one reason or another, there's problems. Do they reimburse you that money? No. Gold and silver. I could be liquid real quick.
Are you still of the opinion that silver should be pretty comparably a value to gold as far as relatively speaking? I mean, and
what it has way more industrial uses, way more.
So what do you think the play is?
And it's becoming scarce. I don't know if you guys have paid attention over there to the comics, but their inventory has dropped down to almost nothing. So people are grabbing their silver. Eventually, what's going to happen is they're going to have to turn to the public, and they're going to have to ask them for. Because there are missile guidance systems, the wind solar panels, our satellite systems, all these things need silver. But if you're running out of silver, what happens? Look at Elon Musk is at least smart enough to buy a silver mine and open up a place for him to store his silver where he is over in Texas. So, he even is aware that it's going to get to the point where silver is ridiculously expensive. And I just said, in my opinion, with all the industrial uses, and all the, believe it or not, I'm sure most of you guys know this, the medicinal purposes that come along with gold and silver. It's just a matter of time before silver catches up to gold. Now, gold is considered the thing for royalty, is why it holds so much value. But, you could do jewelry with it. You can make coins with it. That's about as far as it goes. Sure, some of it's used in computers, but now there's a synthetic gold that's being used, not real gold. So the industrial use for gold is going to drastically change, whereas silver, it continues to increase in usage when it comes to industrial uses.
What do you think is the thing with that? So for example, gold, they take a look at it as, okay, well, this is good for jewelry or whatever, right? That they don't really push silver for that. Where do you see them actually moving towards silver? Because I know a lot of people have been for the last, at least since I've seen it over the last few years, stockpiling their silver. But where do you see what's going to happen with that? And do you, like, as far as, like, we just knew today that the rate went up, so thanks for that.
Yeah, thank you.
But it's good to see you again. And what do you think? Where are we at, comparably speaking, from your mind? Let's say, for example, 2023, we're turning 2024. By 2025, I know we're not asking for predictions, but generally, where really should silver be?
It's hard to predict because every time we keep thinking these people don't have any more tools to continue to manipulate the markets, they always find new ways. But it's getting to a point where the demand for silver is increasing because of industrial reasons. And I don't know if you guys ever paid attention. I told these people, I noticed that silver ratio to gold was out of whack. It was like 127 ounces of silver for every 1 ounce of gold. I said, you can actually make money off of precious metal swapping. So if I took my 10 ounces of gold, at the time it was 124 ounces, what it was, and I swapped it every ounce for 124 ounces of silver, that gave me 1,240 ounces of silver. And then it took, I think 3 months later, it dropped back down to like 60 something in the ratio. And I go, now look, if I swap my silver back over for gold, I gained an extra 8 ounces of gold doing nothing but precious metal swapping because
Mm.
the value of silver
Precious
went up
metal
against
swapping.
gold.
I like
Yeah.
that one.
So you
Now
got to
that's
watch the ratio. Now
yeah, I
the
get it.
ratio is around 80 something again. I said, so silver's what you want to be investing in. You know, take your gold coins, swap them for the silver. Not all of them. If you be
Now you wouldn't want to consider
rational.
like bronze like as a precious metal swapping thing, right?
No, there's other ones, nickels, copper, but you have to have so much of it. It's really hard to invest in it unless you're doing, playing with the stock market. But
I got
copper at one time is all these precious metals that are being used industrial. The demand for them is going to continue to grow as we go into electric vehicles, as we go into solar, as we go into wind turbines. I don't know. That's starting to change now. There's countries going, we changed our mind. We're not aboard this whole globalist movement. We're not aboard with this whole, climate change because it's starting to destroy their economies and they don't want anything to do with it. But we'll see. They want to go nuclear, which is the right path to go. But yeah, definitely the copper, lithium, gold, silver, precious metals. These definitely lithium is big. My suggestion is people start looking into refineries for lithium because there's not that many of them. There's actually very little at all. And the demand for lithium is going to increase big time. So something you should research is lithium refineries. And if you can afford to open one. So
what do you do with how do you even approach a lithium refinery? Like, what do you say? Do you invest in it? Or are there like
you have
certificates?
to research as who they are, how active they are, what kind of contracts, where they located. The country makes a difference because could the government come in and take them over? Appropriate them. Stuff.
But what
like
do you do? Do you invest with them like as like you're trading it? Are there lithium refinery stocks, if you would? I got you. Okay.
Make sure that the companies are public. Invest in their stocks. They're going to skyrocket eventually. Here, the people are starting to realize there's not enough refineries. I mean, this is even something that Elon Musk, I believe, said. The future is refineries. Investing in refineries because there's not enough of them, and the demand for the batteries. If people are going to be forced into electric vehicles, it's just going to skyrocket here in the next couple of years. So
copper, you can do the same thing with too. You suggest looking now copper meaning the penny, right? So I want to make sure we're clear. So like people that have pennies in their pocket,
it costs them more to make a penny out of copper than it does to make it out of anything else. So I tell people, look, if you go to your store and you 1983 and older, keep those. Those are all copper. They're worth like 3 cents each. Mount value. So yeah,
they're 83 or over or under?
Older.
83, 82, 81 on back. Yep. Copper. Definitely. Just keep them. I mean, people, it takes up a lot of room after a while, but a lot of people usually take those old, remember them 5-gallon water jugs.
Oh yeah.
Drink water out of. People throw their change in there. Just throw your coins in there, man. That's what you do. Just let them stack up against the wall. And then, when the time comes, cash them in, but not as pennies. I wouldn't go to the bank. They'll just give you a penny. Melt value. Melt them down and then turn them in.
What about dimes? What's the age to start looking at dimes where they're more valuable?
Well, I mean, all years are good. You're looking for they have on there what's called variety heirs, but silver coins, 1964 and older for dimes, quarters, dollars, all of them 1964 or older. They have silver in them, but half dollars, 1964 and older for 90%. But 1965 through 1970, they have 40% silver. That's the ones that get by real easy. People miss them because they look for everything older than 64. But 1965 through 1970, I do coin hunting. I go to the bank and get like $500 worth of half dollars and just look at the dates real quick, go right through them and pull them out. And then
if it's not the date, you go back in line again.
Take it back to recycle. You work with two banks, so you take one bank, you take all the coins to, and cash them in, and get your money, go back to the other bank and buy the coins again. Because if you take them to the same bank, they're like, "What are you doing?"
Hey, this guy says the gold and silver is mine, says the Lord. That's not fair, said the Lord. Right? I mean, the
gold and silver is mine, says the Lord. Yeah, well, that's what we call God's money. That's for sure, because it's naturally made. It isn't. Made out of some digital program or made out of some fake paper dollar. The fiat dollar is crap. As far as the cryptocurrencies, I know people don't like the errors, but all cryptos are It's a digital version of the fiat dollar. There's no difference between them.
Mhm.
You can just push a button and presto, you can make more. And I had this argument with this person about, well, you can't make more Bitcoin. There's only 21 million. I go, yeah, yes, you can. It's a program. All people have to do is go in there and get the codes, and somebody can. And as a matter of fact, I had a gentleman on my channel. That's what he does. He said, we can multiply the number of Bitcoin if we wanted to, no problem. But here's what people got to understand. I want you to remember this. With BlackRock buying into these ETFs, creating ETFs for Bitcoin, they can easily sell more Bitcoin than has been created. We see them do this all the time. Remember there in the, the Wall Street market, the Reddit group that bought the AMC and the GameStop stock, where they find out that one of the stocks, this was exposed, the corruption in the stock market. They sold shorts, meaning they thought the value of the stock would go down. They sold 114% of what was actually available. How's that possible? There's only 100% or something. So if they could do that to stocks, what do you think they're going to do to cryptocurrencies? We see it with our silver. These people sell what, 1,000 times more than what's physically available? How do you do that? How come nobody's where the hell is the FEC or anybody like that stopping people from doing this? They're going to do the same thing to cryptocurrencies.
What do you think about these?
Yeah.
What do you think about the concept of people buying these silver and gold certificates? So they're certificates, not the actual,
the hard,
how you say it?
tangible.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, what's that? What is that? I mean, is there anything to that? Is that something like,
Well, we used to do that back in the olden days when we had the gold standard. You could buy the silver or the gold certificates. You could take them in and exchange them for physical gold and silver. They're equivalent in value. I mean, for collectors, they're fun to have. I always look for the gold ones. I have gold certificates myself. But, unless we go back to doing it all over again, which I don't see that happening, because the problem we had back then is other countries got hip and they started buying our gold certificates and swapping it in and taking the physical gold from us. And that really depleted us. So I don't see that ever happening again. You don't want to be owning shares in gold and silver. You want the physical, that old saying, if you don't own it, you don't have it. You know what I mean? So you definitely want to have the actual physical gold and silver, because if you don't have it, then these people that sell these ETFs or any kind of shares in them, they don't have the physical. They don't have the actual physical to swap.
How do you even regulate anything like that? How's that even?
No,
I mean,
illegal, but they allow them to do it.
Huh.
So let's get
don't buy no Stellar, don't buy no XRP, man. That's just my
all right. This is getting. I'm just going down the list.
If you do, just do it all in moderation, people.
Even if it does grow up, let's say it goes up.
Diversify.
Let me just give you an example, you guys. Let's just say you guys are right. All right, we jump on XLM and XRP, and it becomes $1 million. But now we're stuck into the central bank digital currency. I want you to think about this. The central bank digital currency comes with the expiration date on there. If you don't spend it, you lose it. Okay, keep that in mind. They don't want generational wealth to be transferred from one generation to another. They want you poor. So if they have an expiration date, congratulations, you cash in your cryptos, or they force you to, and you get $1 million. But now it gives you 30 days to spend it. You're like, yay, okay. After 30 days, then what? You're back to square one. You have to work. Where are you going to get your money from? That millions of dollars? What about it?
Well, because they're only letting you take out so much at a time, right? So, like, if you got $1 million on XRP, you just can't be like transferring $1 million. Is that right? Or do you break the bank?
No, there's an expiration date on there. They're telling you only have X amount of times to spend your money. If you don't spend it, you lose it. So as soon as you spend it, or even if you don't spend it and you lose it, you're back to square one. What are you going to fall back on? The millions? Not anymore. It's gone. It's expired. That's what people are not paying attention to. There's expiration dates on the.
How do you put an expiration date on that? Like, I don't understand what you're saying.
Programmable money.
Wait a minute. Let me backtrack to understand what you're saying.
Okay, where is the central bank digital currency being used right now? China.
Yeah.
They have the expiration date on theirs. If the citizens don't spend it, they lose it.
Is that right? Like, how long do they generally have to do it? So if they have like $1 million, what do they say? What
they don't have nobody there has $1 million. Nobody that's the regular citizen, so to speak. You know what I mean? They don't have it, but there's cities now who are forced 100% into the central bank digital currency and has an expiration date on there. Not just that, but here's the other thing. They get to tell you what you can and can't use your money for. So if you wanted to buy gold and silver, you can't. If you want
Hey,
to
you know
buy
what? You're
a
right. That's
weapon
right.
like a gun and ammo,
But
you can't.
there are cities. That's right. I remember that last time we spoke. I think you were telling me there are cities now that are digital cities, little legit, right? Like they're
15-minute cities, that's what they call it now. Remember I sounded they were coming, and now they're out. UK is getting ready to launch one. So it's 15 minutes. You can only go, everything's supposed to be within 15 minutes of where you live, everything you need. That's coming. Um, this programmable money, this is how they're going to violate our constitutional rights, the rights to the Second Amendment, the right to arm yourself. They just say, yeah, you got the central bank digital currency. There's nothing you can do about it. You have no choice but to use our money, and you can't buy weapons with it. You can't protect yourself, no ammo, no nothing. By the way, we looked at your medical charts. You're obese. So every time you try to go to McDonald's to buy a hamburger, you can't. That's what you have coming to you guys, man. Absolutely.
so you're protecting someone by saying because they're not going to be able to buy a McDonald's hamburger, right? So you're actually
Right.
you're actually doing a service.
That's one way to look at it, but there might be other people going, if I want to buy freaking 50 quarter pounders, I can. That's my business.
They're saving your life, man. Look at it from that perspective. Like, you can't spend this on McDonald's.
So let's get to the bottom of this one. Nasara. Now, there's so much hype with Nasara, but you actually have proof that there is parts of it that are actually legit.
That's right.
Yeah, so everybody that's ever listened to me, I didn't go down the wackadoodle path, even though I was invited and promised a shitload of money to do it. I was like, no, that's not me, man. Charlie Ward wanted me to go aboard with his crew, and I was like, I'm not doing that. I know who Charlie is. To each his own. Have fun. Do whatever you're doing. If you rip people off, that's your business. But people actually started committing suicide over the crap that they were saying, and that's when I started speaking out against them. I had a list that I looked at from Nasara to Sarah, and I went down each one of them one at a time to see what I could prove. And the weird thing was, well, I won't say the good thing was the vast majority of them I could actually prove that was taking place. But not all of it, but most of it. And now people are asking me to do an update on them, and I will. But I got stuck on the QFS system because I felt like I was stuck between a rock and a hard place. I was telling people it's bullshit, but then my friends like, no, it's real. And I was like, well, if there's no way for me to prove it, I can't. How do I talk about it? But I don't want to keep saying it's not real. And then sure enough, I found the actual QFS system. It is up. It's running. People can look it up. I'm not hiding it. Go look up D-Wave, D-Wave, W-A-V-E, D-Wave QFS system being used in Spain. And you can see that it's up and already going. It's already there. No, you don't need cryptos to go into it. No, you don't need to get crap from some aliens coming from outer space. You don't need none of that. It's just a system. It's man-made. Okay? I understand there's all these stories that are out there. I haven't said that. I don't want people to misunderstand me. You should be elevating yourself, though, for reals, because there's something bigger coming up. That's
just not the aliens with the QFS system.
Yeah. I mean, I started doing spiritual. You guys know I did a video with you guys, and it blew everybody's mind. I told people I actually talked to God and Jesus, and still, man, people are asking me questions about it. So I started touching a little bit more on it on some videos. But people are like, "Yeah, I talked to, what do they call him? I can't think of his name. They call him Uncle Cliff. Uncle Cliff. You got to talk to Uncle Cliff. He talks like you." So I heard a couple of videos, and I go, "Wow, actually, he knows a lot of the same things I do." But we never had a chance to meet. He was predicting something happening here in October, I think it was. And he said it's going to be like this terrorist attack is going to be worse than 9/11. I go, no, it's going to be smaller. It's going to be in the Middle East. Then all of a sudden, the attack happened in Israel. Well, that'll make me a prophet. I just felt like whatever is coming. What I heard was it was coming out of the Middle East. So
that's what happened.
Yeah.
That's where you're at. All right. Well, listen, that's all right, man. Listen, you're getting the downloads here, but there's people in the chat saying like a lot of the stuff's biblical. It's meant to be. It's predictable. But what you're saying is we can control this stuff. There's no destiny with anything, with everything going on, is there?
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. There's always a destiny for everything. Okay. There's what's that old saying? What good is a destiny if you don't know the path? So, everything is about, there you go, Cliff High.
Yeah.
Somebody I would love to talk to, but because he draws on a lot of energy that I'm familiar with that people are not aware of, and they're kind of touchy subjects. We start talking about magic magic's real, but it's not black magic or white magic. This is dark magic and light magic, which are two different things. One's more disciplined than the other. The other one is lazy. One is one is real seductive, but it's bad for you. But not that I want to get into that, but it's real, and I've spoken about this many times. And most people don't realize that magic's spoken about in the Bible, not just don't do magic. No, I'm talking about there's tons of magicians inside that are icons within the Bible. Again, not that we don't want to get too crazy on that, but look, everything, you know,
you got the three magi. I mean,
yeah, but people don't know who the magi are. But people go, well, they say black magic. I go, yeah, they were said to have black magic, but not because it was dark. It's because they live near the Black Sea, and because of the location, they said their magic was black magic, not that it was dark magic. So then the magi were the ones with the crazy hats that look like Merlin and stuff. They were the one teaching Jesus. And, you know, when you start going down that path, people get all, oh, and they freak out. So,
hey, everybody, if you're just tuning in for the first time, this is our guest, Pimpy. We're your host today. This is April and Jay. If you haven't already, hit the like button and the subscribe button. Do you still say that shit to people, man? Hit the like. Remember, I learned that shit from you. I'm like, remember, like, say what he says. I'm like, how do you say it?
And hit the share,
don't
please.
Forget to hit the like.
Don't forget to share. But Pimpy, for those of you just who are jumping on, Pimpy was one of our first guests when we kind of got in a rhythm here in 2019, whenever that was, as far as getting out there. So it's definitely pretty cool to see you again. Which is what
I started to, so the Nasara, because so much of that is so blown out of the water, you know, people are.
Why don't you tell people how we got started in that? This, you know.
Why don't you share that story?
You and I were talking, and Santa Surfing had these people posting that all their debt was disappearing. And I thought that's interesting because something happened with my student loans. But as you're telling me about it, I went to go look, and my student loan payments used to come automatically out of my bank account. And I noticed that they stopped for some reason. So I went to go to my credit report, and I have the paper. It actually, believe it or not, in the mail, finally, after all these years, this came to explain that it was just discharged. And I was like, discharge, but don't say why. So, they stopped taking payments out. I went to my credit report. It was gone. It said paid in full. And I was like, what the hell? Like, you know, we're talking about $157,000 in student loans. I have 5 degrees, including a master's. You know, I went to school.
What did you go to school for?
Geez, I went to school for accounting, computer applications, medical administration with the emphasis on business administration. I have my master's in public administration with the emphasis on medical administration with business. So all those, anything and everything to do with, you know, business and running an entire hospital. So I used to make a lot of money. I was a director for the longest time. I made $75 an hour. So, you know, it was good. So they were taking the money out of my account and just stopped. And now my credit report says it's paid in full. But, you know, it's hard for me to get excited. So I called the creditor the next day and said, you know, what's going on with this account? It says 0. She goes, it's not there. And I go, what? She goes, it's not there. It's paid. And I go, how's that possible? She goes, I don't know what to tell you. There's nothing here. I don't, you know, this is paid in full. We assumed you paid it. And I was like, no. And so, you know, we did a video together, or I did a video first and said that. And I showed everybody, look, I'll show you my credit reports. They were gone. And everybody's like, oh, it's Nasara Jasara. And I said, well, whether it's Nasara Jasara, I don't want to necessarily call it that. But it is very interesting that we're talking about these things taking place. And my student loan's gone at the time. So was my wife. So it was gone. They're like, what are we doing in sequential order by last name? I was like, I don't know what to tell you guys, man. I don't know why it's gone. And I do know other people who had theirs removed as well. I don't know why. I don't want to call it Nasara Jasara. People get too stuck on a name. That's the issue that I have. You should be focusing on the concept on this list. Yeah.
Yeah, the concept of it. Yeah. No, I get it. I get it.
Now for us, if we say even the words Nasara Jasara, you get a, what do you call that yellow mark on your ads saying that, you know, not that it's not monetized, but it's, you know.
What's SHIB? What's SHIB? What's this person saying SHIB?
I didn't see what is SHIB. How about SHIB? Shiba is what I'm guessing. The crypto.
Oh, okay, got it. I got it. Okay, so they're looking for predictions.
Advice.
All right.
No, that's one of those meme coins. I bought a lot of, and I just say if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. The only reason I went for meme coins is because there's an opportunity, even though they're crap coins, you know, for people to make money off them. And you just use discretionary funds. It only cost me a couple $100 to get like tens of thousands of these. I mean, with Satoma. I got like, hundreds of thousands of these things, So and it's why not? So as it goes back and forth, and they over the last 3 months they're up 57%. So
right, is it down now though? I know it went up, but
no, it's up over the last 3 months. It's up 57%.
That's really
this stuff's like crack, man. You gotta be really careful and get the right drug, because everything here is a money drug. You have to be really careful because it is like crack, isn't it? Mm-hmm. I mean, so you have to be like,
But here's what happens: is people are not disciplined and they don't know what to look for. You have to learn how to get in and get out. If I put $10,000 into a cryptocurrency and then all of a sudden it's now worth 20, I'm going to take 10 out. You know what I mean? Take your profit.
Satama is not easy to get in, and it is not easy to get out.
But if you get the
discipline yourself, because now if you take that 10,000 out and you still have 10,000 in, then you're playing with house money. You know what I mean? So if it drops down to zero, you didn't lose anything. There's a difference between a person who's a gambler versus a person who's a poker player. If I have $10,000 and becomes 20, and I take 10,000 out, if that 10,000 now doubles up to 20,000 again, a gambler goes, "Oh, I could have had 30,000." No, that's the wrong mentality.
All right, so let me ask you.
Goes good. I got another 10,000 profits. Take it out.
Listen, check this out. Right. Okay, so this guy right here who's got 74 million. Let's say, for example, that went to $1. God bless you, James. But if that went to $1, for example, $1. I'm just using that.
If it went to 1 penny.
I'm trying to give an example here. Give 1 second. But what I'm saying, but will the exchanges let you just say withdraw 74 million to my account?
Do they depends on what exchange you're on. You know what I mean? They limit it, but that's why you should take your profits out as you go. As Shiba starts to go up, if you put, let's say you bet $100 in there, and as it starts to go up, and if it gets up to 200, well, that's different. Maybe if you wait till it gets like 1,000, then you just take out 500 and keep 500 and keep letting it accumulate. The problem is people go, man, I could have had this if I left my money in. You keep doing that. That's a gambler, not a poker player. Gamblers keep thinking about the money they lost. Poker players think about the money they already won. And so if you keep Monday quarterbacking, thinking about, oh, I could have had this money. Then all of a sudden the market drops out and you can't get on your platform to sell them and you lose all your money. You're going to be kicking yourself in the ass.
What about these? What about like in these exchanges, they have that these USDT, they're like dollars, right? So it's like you can transfer it. Are they designed to be safe, or are they just designed not to fluctuate?
Well, they're supposed to be, but here's the thing that's interesting. So I have these, came across this paperwork. There's a ton of information in there, but I find it interesting that the Bank of International Settlement is now talking about dealing with cryptocurrencies, and they want stable coins, but stable coins that they develop, but they're going to allow people to have X amount of coins, and they're going to break them up into groups. You have group one is any and all cryptocurrencies backed by gold and silver. And I was like, there is none there. I think there's one or two, but they're going to have a higher value than the other cryptocurrencies. And then it says on there, their goal is to slowly but surely eliminate those of group two, which is those without any assets supporting it, because they're too much of a danger to the financial system. So, that's something I'll do a video. I'll show you guys, or I should send you the paperwork, but it's a ton of reading, man.
Do a video. Yeah.
So I know they're in there, though. They do talk highly about Bitcoin. They do talk highly about Ethereum. I don't know what the real goal is with them because there's still more reading that we're going through. But they absolutely are going to use cryptocurrencies that are backed by gold and silver. Now, these people, I think, are the if the central bank digital currency doesn't go the way it should, I think a reality is that they're talking about an alternative system that we still get banknotes, because in there it says, you can exchange these for equivalent in your banknote. So, and this is coming from the BIS. So I think this is a backup system because the CBDC is not going over very well with the public. And not only that, here in the United States, we have states now outlawing it. So the United States is going to be for them, the main country to try to grab a hold of, and if you can't grab a hold of them, the rest of the world isn't going to follow.
I get it. All right, listen, everybody. That is Pimpy. So we got to meet Pimpy again. We've got to see Pimpy after all these years. It's good to see you, buddy. I appreciate you coming back and hanging out with us. And we're winding it down, everybody. So we just wanted to get connected here with you. Pimpy's channel is there. At the other side of things, 471. Sounds like a YouTube.
You're looking for good.
People just need to be
Sounds like a
careful.
YouTube maneuver there, right?
People need to be careful, okay? And that is, you got people out there telling you that XRP going to the moon, Nasara, you have to sign for these accounts. Don't fall for that. They sent me to this website I went to, and on there saying, oh, the sign up for the QFS system. No, it's not. It's false. You got to remember that the people that's running this thing live in Puerto Rico, and some of them in other states. So if it goes to crap and they steal your crypto, how are you going to go after them? Just keep that in mind, okay? So, like Pizza Guy out there, he's definitely somebody I don't like, without naming no names. But he kept trying to push me into it. I go, dude, do you even know who I am? I've made so many videos bad mouthing you because I think you're a fucking criminal, but excuse the cuss word, but and then he was like, but I'm telling you, it's going to work. No, you can't convince me because you don't have any receipts. So just be very careful about who you're listening to, I guess is the best way to put it. And be very careful about, voluntarily turning over your information to individuals, especially when it comes to your cryptocurrencies. Don't trust them. Don't trust them. You already belong on the exchange. You can do your business on that exchange. There's nothing out there that's going to be linked to the QFS system. The QFS system is already out there. It exists. I told you guys how to go find it. It's real simple to do. Just don't take my word for it. Go look yourself. As far as XRP and XLM, all you have to do is go XRP, XLM, CBDC coins. You can see that they already are launching their central bank digital currency. These have expiration dates on there. They're programmable currency, which means they could program in there what you can and can't buy, and that's not something you want to be dealing with.
Okay. All right. Okay,
And
everybody.
there you have it. And buy gold and silver because it's tangible.
Right. And like anything else, everybody,
Hold
this
it.
is not. Yeah.
Hold it.
Take what you
You
want,
don't-
throw the
if you
rest
can't
away.
hold it, you don't own it.
If you can't hold it, you can't own it. That is actually kind of true, isn't
That's
it?
very
You don't hold
true.
it, you don't own
If you
it.
can't put it under your
Right.
pillow and bathe in it and everything like that, you can't do it. Hey,
If you
brother, it's
can't
really
kiss
good.
it good night.
It's good. It's good to see you. It really is good to see you again. You look really good.
Yeah, you
I
guys
hope-
do.
yeah. Listen, I hope everybody checks out your channel there and see what's going on there and
I appreciate
find
it.
out. Yeah, for sure. Likewise, man. So we'll have
Well, they
Pimpy
can
back
come
on.
over and ask me questions if they want. Some people hear this and they're confused. I also have a Facebook group you guys called Pimpy's Investment Chat. You guys, it's free to join. Come on out there and join, because in there I talk in there as well as post my videos. You can ask questions, and a lot of people already been through this, so they're brutally honest when it comes to these kinds of things. They know. So come on down and join us.
Awesome.
All right,
Thank you
cool.
so much. We miss you, and everyone we love and miss you too.
Yes, you too. You know what? I was out in Florida, man. I was like, where are they? I wish I had your phone number because my phone.
You do now.
Yeah. There you go.
Now, I should say, now you got it back. Now you got our number back.
I just texted you.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely got it. Anyways, it was
All right.
nice talking to you guys. I appreciate everybody chiming in.
Yeah, you got it. We
Likewise.
appreciate everybody.
And
hanging out.
together with Pimpy's help, we are turning this universal key to global harmony and creating a unified world. Thank you so much for tuning in. And remember, tune in often, tell all your friends, and most importantly, buy your gold and silver, and may all your crypto dreams even come true. Much love, many blessings.
And much cash to you also. Let's put some
Yes.
cash in that old mix. All right, guys. Thanks a lot for hanging out with us.